are you? I'm about to
I
plug
am
up
well, thank
my
you.
problematic microphone. So that
Is not picking up. You're muted.
I'm not muted.
Okay. Speak up.
I am speaking up. Is that
Bring your microphone closer.
I just unplugged it. Did that make it better or worse? Here, let's
You
try this
still
one more.
sound far away. You sound like I do when I'm on my
Microphone
headphones.
here. Is that better?
It's better.
She says no.
I said
Then
it's
we will go with that. Sorry.
it's better, but you're not how
I'm
you
not
are
as
over the phone.
It's StreamYard. StreamYard doesn't like me. And that's okay. That's
Hi, Dinky
Dinky
Jen. Welcome in. We're trying to get it so everybody can hear Michelle. Can you hear Michelle? Michelle, say something. Maybe it's just me.
It may be just you. Dinky, can you hear me?
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. You get us in stereo. Let me try this. As much as I hate it, I will wear my headphones. I'm listening to a
She's
short
listening to a short premiere. Mm-hmm. Shania, how you do? No, that pretty in pink. Oh, that's Shorty.
That is
Shorty.
Shorty. I recognize that face.
You changed your name. Yeah, that's Shorty. You
That is
changed your
not
name.
Shorty. I promise you that's not Shorty. That's how I know I'm gonna be in trouble later.
Oh, that's my little cousin.
That's little cousin.
Girl, she looks so much like Shorty, it's not funny.
We're family. This is what you get. And what's crazy is that's a 33-year-old.
Okay, so you can hear her? Okay. You did it, your petty name.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen or do you want to just give out the information? How do you want to do this?
I am just going to read the information that I found related to the military situation that
Okay.
a lot of and here's what happened so I can explain why I got to this position. A number of people that I'm familiar with directly and indirectly are in the National Guard because they are closing bases and condensing job duties within the military across the country. I know Michelle sounds far away. Need to put headphones on. I have my headphones on. I'm sorry. I believe they're actually on, though I can't tell. I'm trying to make this as loud as I can for you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me reach up here. That may turn up something for you. I'm not exactly sure that it will. And see, my television's on mute, so I don't hear me in stereo. Nonetheless, like I said, a number of the bases are closing. Duties and assignments that were previously available to people in the National Guard setting are no longer available. They either have to leave the military or take a different assignment in a very different location that might not be safe or comfortable for them, especially in a climate like Missouri, where you can be in the main city and be totally fine as a person of color, and then suddenly be transferred an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and you're in an area where your life may be in danger after dark. So the conversation started happening of what do I do? Do I stay in the military and risk my safety, or do I leave? And the answer is they will allow you to end your contract in the case that your position is moving elsewhere. Now, for those people who are considering wanting to get out of the military because they don't want to fight other U.S. citizens, such as what's happening in LA right now, then the question becomes, how do I address this? How do I? Oh, she put me up there by myself. Bless you. Anyway, the answer to that question is the conscientious objector status. And the way that is done is you file a formal statement with your chain of command stating you no longer want to be in the military for the reason that you don't want to fight, whatever that reason is, whether it's religious, moral, whatever. Once you make that statement, and you have to do it in writing, you can't just say, I no longer agree with what you're doing. Then the chain of command has the right and duty to react. Behind the scenes, I'm encouraging the people I'm communicating with to get legal representation away from the military. The reason you want private support is because this is going to be a factor of, can we afford to let this person go? We've invested this many months or years of training in them, and their position may be integral to the movement of that unit. So having an outside independent source to support you, especially in this very litigious country, will be very helpful to you. Now, of course, you're going to have to get some legal representation within the military, but the two parties need to work together to support your exit from your contract. And you want them to write it in such a way that once we're no longer dealing with the climate we're currently dealing with, if you want to return to the military, that opportunity would be available to you. So that's what I've been working on. Does anyone have any questions?
What about what was that what you were telling me earlier, what they can do to protect themselves? You were telling me that they were packing things.
In the case of this one particular unit that I'm sorry. They can also
refuse to follow an order if they consider the order itself to be illegal or unconstitutional, duty to disobey, and is empowered by the UCMJ. Thank you.
I made that.
For those who don't know, Pretty in Pink is Michelle's daughter. And I think she came on just to make sure that her mother's blood pressure doesn't shoot out of the top of her head. Because I've been given a window that I'm allowed to speak politics to Michelle, and I can't go over that window. Hi, Pebbly Poo.
Pebbles, hi. So yes, I'm when I saw Pretty in Pink pop in, I'm like, oh, well, I wanted you all to meet, but I was hoping it would be in person and not because my leash is being jerked back to make sure that I don't act up. And I've been good today.
Yes, she has.
Though my comment under Tabitha Speaks' video currently has over 200 something likes, that's a little frightening how you go viral in the comment section. So yes, the ultimate thing that I want to encourage others as it relates to supporting our family members or friends who are in the military who absolutely disagree with what their commander-in-chief is doing. And let's understand, in the civilian world, we can walk away if we have an employer and a boss who's not being kind. Part of the swearing in of every military person, it follow and defend the construction from foreign and domestic terrorism. That is true, but if your commander is not capable of leading the charge, there is a way to usurp that.
Shorty, use your own account. Why are you using my account? And how are you doing that?
Constitution. There literally are ways, if you have a commander that is putting the unit in danger, you can enact mutiny. What they're not considering is the commander-in-chief, the person in the highest office, is not well. I mean, let's just call a thing a thing. The man is ill. His eggs are over scrambled and nobody likes the smell. So it's time for people to start disassociating. I mean, one of the things that I'm seeing in social media, I'm sure you guys are seeing it as well. We have people who are upset because a certain demographic of the United States citizenship is on a break. They happen to be the people who are a little brown. And the question becomes, well, why aren't you all enraged? Hey, Granny,
I'm part of the 92%. And that's why we're writing letters. We've done the hard work. They did not want to listen to us. So now they're on their own.
And I'm being good. But with that said, using dog whistles, like using African American music that you wouldn't have let play in your home under any other circumstance to rile up people of color. Baby, we've heard those songs. We know what the words really mean. Don't think that you're going to get me angry with you to the point that I'm enraged and enact on your behalf. And I'm sorry. And I say this as someone who cannot ride a bike. I would not put a 3-year-old on a 2-wheel bike that they hadn't previously learned how to ride and expect them to successfully go somewhere. However, if said 2-year-old decided to run off with that bike, fall and scrape their knee, I hope they know how to use bandages, because I'm not coming to the rescue. I'm old enough to have been told, I told you don't do X. If you go out there and you do X, don't come in here crying if it don't work out. Well, we told everyone prior to the election of this person, if you vote for him, these are the things that are going to happen. Oh, they're happening now. You want us to do what?
And they said, oh no, he's not going to do that. And we kept saying, but he said he's going to do it. Yeah, that's what he said, but he's not going to do that. Well,
one word, Hitler.
Pebble says, even the orange man has sworn to uphold our Constitution. And mind you, he didn't put his hand on the Bible, but they said it still was a swearing in. He's not allowed to deploy these people without consent of the state government. Amen. I let Michelle go first. I know everybody's walking in going, why is Michelle talking? Because Michelle has a little person at home who may decide he needs his yogurt, his diaper changed, or whatever. And since she was here at the beginning, I was letting her go first because she might have to jump off and run. So the links for everything we're going to go through are in the description. They're going to be a little out of order because I'm going to pick up from where Michelle left off, and then we're going to go back. Granny says, and he shouldn't have been allowed to flip and campaign. I said that this morning, Granny. When Colorado said they were not going to put his name on the ballot, all the other 49 states should have followed suit. He should not have been allowed to run. He should not have been allowed to vote. The whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, was illegal. But, what do I know? I didn't go to law school. I went to, medical school. I went to healthcare. But so we're going to start with what's her name? Park Rose Permaculture. The link for this is in the description. You might want to jot down this number because I did not know this was a thing, and I was excited to see it. You see if I can bring her in here.
Put me down and then bring her in.
Well, I think I can do it this way. Let me see what I can. Let me see what happens. I don't think I have to put you down. I think this will just take over. Oh, well, that works too. If anybody cannot see, we will, Michelle and I will drop down and I'll make that bigger. Does anybody need to make it bigger? Right, Granny. He shouldn't have been allowed because it was my understanding that felons couldn't vote. But when I went and looked it up, they were like, yeah, but it depends upon what state you're in. Unfortunately, he was in a state where it was allowed. Michelle, I may need my juice, etc. Can you help?
I wish I could, Chris. For you, I would. But I'm not your diaper. No.
Okay. So this is what oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna drop us both down and make this bigger because we can't see what
the rest of it. And I'm typing the number in the chat.
Wrong button, DJ. Work here. Okay. We are going to you saw that message, Granny? Yes. She was giving it. I happened to see this morning and I was like, oh, really? Wait, I didn't know that. So, especially since I'm not on the other platforms. She says, if you are a National Guard or active duty military and you are being ordered to violate the constitutional rights of the U.S. citizens, then this is the number to the GI Rights Hotline. There is support. You don't have to go through with it. 1-877-447-4487. And she got that from Sean Westmoreland. And he said the exact same things that she said. However, there are 8.5 thousand comments on this bad boy. So, we're not going to go through all of the comments, but when you get a chance, just go through them. The ones that I really love are the ones that are like this. Remember the Nuremberg trials? I was following orders is no excuse. So if these people go out here following orders and they're illegal and unconstitutional, they can be held liable for those. Alex is an Army veteran, 8898. I say, remember, you swore an oath to the Constitution, not to a dictator. So you can stand down. And there's a, where was he? Because I didn't go all the way down, so it should be here closely. Carolyn says, I have been reading through these comments, particularly the ones from veterans. The one, if you, and of course, we're not going to read the whole 3,000, but if you pick up the ones from veterans, those are really the best ones because they know. It's not like civilians guessing or reading. They've been there, done that, and they know what's involved. But the one, and if you get dizzy, close your eyes. I'll tell you when I'm stopping. There was one in here that was saying, oh, this is it. He's retired Air Force. I worked on nuclear warheads, Minuteman I missiles, Minnow, North Dakota. Also was a fight dispatcher for F-16th Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. I am a proud soldier. I'm a proud veteran. I honor and support the flag, Constitution, and the people. This America, U.S., we have rules and regulations just like the military. It's called the Constitution. And the first sentence starts, we the people. Not we the king. So stand up, soldiers, and honor your oath to protect your country and your Constitution. Do not forget your flag and don't forget the people. Remember, it's we the people. So yeah, they've got support. They've got people out here speaking up, speaking out. And the one that I really wanted, I cannot, of course, find now unless somebody deleted it. But he was saying that if you are okay, this is it. He says, I am a retired guardsman. I call on all my fellow guardsmen to remember your oath. Resign if you are past your initial enlistment and don't join the IRR. So there are things you can do. You can return later if you really want to. If you are on your first enlistment or you need your guard pay, do what you can to slow walk everything. Maliciously comply. All my fellow NCOs know what I'm talking about. Stay strong. So there are ways to do it and not do it. But we got to do what we need to do for the betterment of our country. And right now, we're not being given that option. And what everybody has been saying, J6, we got no militia, we got no servicemen, we got nada. We have people peacefully demonstrating against people being disappeared, and now we get the National Guard. And since they want to escalate, and I'm gonna let Gavin say it because he really got it. Garcia, welcome in. Good to see you, sweetie. Good to sweet you, sweetheart. Good to see you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I can take your comment down. I had to get to it. Girl, don't you know? The person who said it best, and the links that are in the description start at where we are, because I wasn't going to have us sit through the whole interviews. I didn't know how much time Michelle needed, and I was trying to be mindful of everybody's time. But if you have time, watch the whole interview, because these people are really giving him the business. And let me make Brian. And if you do not know about Brian Tyler Cohen, check him out. And like I said, the description for all of the link for all of these are in the description. But he is interviewing Gavin Newsom, the governor of California.
Speaking, when you've got the California National Guard and when you've got the federal National Guard both coming in to Los Angeles, who takes priority? What happens to these folks who are actually on the ground?
Well, we've had a remarkable relationship with our National Guard. Over 3,000 or so went through a rotation to protect folks here post the fire. And they were well received, right, and embraced. They were mission tasked. They went through an appropriate process, working with local law enforcement, the cities and the counties and the community leaders, and they were engaged and effective. As it relates to the deployment right now, there's no state National Guard that had been requested by local law enforcement because they had adequate resources. And Donald Trump knew that. His chief of staff knew that. They didn't care about that. And so they wanted to create conditions that would get worse because of their ignorance and recklessness in order to incite the kind of reaction that we're seeing on the streets, so that they can further incite by now apparently talking about bringing in the Marines into a United States city in 2025.
And by the way, he attempted, we found out from his previous Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, that he had attempted to get the military deployed in an American city previously, and Mark Esper wouldn't go along with this plan. And so now, do you have any confidence that Pete Hegseth will be as principled as Mark Esper was?
Pete Hegseth's a joke. He's a joke. Everybody knows it. So in over his head. What an embarrassment. That's just guy's weakness masquerading as strength. I don't even know he masquerades as strength. I mean, serious moment. I mean, this Human guy, these guys, it's the band of misfits.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. This is serious. People's lives are at stake. The reputation of this country is at stake. Great American cities and states. It's not just, this is a preview for things to come. This isn't about LA per se. It's about us today. It's about you, everyone watching tomorrow. I promise you. I mean, this guy's unhinged. Donald Trump is unhinged right now. And this is just another proof point of that.
In your last conversation with Donald Trump, which I believe was in the last 24 hours, how did that conversation go? What did you say to him? What did he say to you?
He never brought up the National Guard. Stone cold liar. Said he did. Stone cold liar. Never did. Didn't even really want to talk about LA. Out of respect to the presidency, a 20-minute conversation, I won't even get into things he actually wanted to talk about. But it wasn't about any of these things. Now he's making it all up. This is past practice, is what he does. So it's a remarkable thing to experience in real time. And in real time, people's lives are at risk because of his recklessness.
The last time
Oh, wait a minute. There's one more
the
point.
president federalized the National Guard in opposition to a state's governor was in 1963 when JFK did it in opposition to George Wallace in an attempt to integrate the University of Alabama. So that was a moment where the president stepped up to protect civil rights and expand civil rights. Now Donald Trump is doing the exact opposite. And so you're in a situation where you are in direct conflict to history here, because Donald Trump is now doing it to try and contract rights among citizens in the state. And so what's your reaction to the fact that this is the polar opposite of something that JFK did, that went down in the history books as a moment where he used his power for good to expand civil rights, and now Donald Trump is doing it in opposition to you to contract them?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, it's immoral. We've deployed the National Guard on multiple occasions in the past. We have National Guard down at the border, mission tasked appropriately to address the issue of fentanyl interdiction, drug interdiction, working in partnership with Border Patrol. Have been for years and years and years. Thousands were deployed here after the fires and during the midst of the fires to help support public safety. We used thousands of our National Guard to address the issue of public safety during the George Floyd riots. The issue of the National Guard being deployed appropriately is under the jurisdiction of governors, not the President of the United States. And to your point, that he's using this to create division, he's using this to divide this nation, he's using this in a way knowingly that puts people's lives at risk so he can escalate the rhetoric, escalate his effort to continue to degrade these sort of constitutional protections, those fundamental protections that we have frankly taken advantage, granted of for decades and decades, is extraordinary, and it's a deep point of contrast, certainly, to a real president, John F. Kennedy.
This all obviously comes.
So this, wait a minute, Michelle. This interview goes on for 14 minutes. It's very powerful. If you get a chance, look at it. At one point, he says that the president has sent in 6,000 National Guards. They're only using 300 of them. All the rest of them are sitting there trying to figure out why are we even here? And for the president to want them here, you would think that they would be, in barracks somewhere, or, in a dormitory somewhere. No, this is how our National Guard are being treated. They are sleeping on the floor. They have no cots, no blankets, no pillows, no food. They have no provisions to feed and house these people. But the president, in his infinite wisdom, decided that these people were needed. The governor found out because one of his staffers said, somebody has called out the National Guard, and he's standing there going, I'm sorry, what did you say? He had no idea. Nobody told him until a staffer found out. And they're laying on the floor. This is not how we treat they're not military, our guardsmen. You at least provide them. I mean, it's kind of like Red Cross shelter. You give them cots, you give them meals, you give them hot drinks, you give them some basic place to do bodily functions. You don't have them curled up on the floor. This is not war.
You wouldn't treat prisoners that way. We don't house prisoners that way. Yet these are the people that we want to say, oh, this country is attacking us. You go protect us. Do someone horribly as an employer and then expect them to go do the job. The response you're going to get is either no, or they're going to half-step their way through that job, and you're not going to like the results.
Yeah, Granny, I've seen ex-mad Granny. When they were pardoning everybody, she says, no, I don't deserve a pardon. I did it. I'm going to stay here and serve my time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Chris says, look, a shiny object. This is not how we treat our enlisted personnel. I'm sorry. Now, if we were at war and they're out in the field someplace, okay, that's survival. They're in LA, and piggyback off of what Gavin was saying, this is the test to see how this works out. Michelle and I are paying attention to this because we are in one of 3 blue cities in a red state. If he decides to put this nonsense here, I've already had the FBI knocking down the door across the street, so I know it can be done. I can barricade myself in here all I want. Their battering ram will still come through my door. This is not what we pay taxes for. I watched that video over and over again. Oh, the orange guy is really pissed. The big beautiful is not passing, but I do have a strange feeling they might pass it in the witching hour. I hope the senators don't do that. I really hope they don't do that.
Well, 2 things to keep it in focus as we move forward with what we're trying to accomplish. Number 1, we all have a goal. As private citizens, we want to still have a country after this domino of destruction falls down and not have to build it back up. We want some semblance of civilianness after. We do not want to live in a post-military state. Look at what happened to Germany for decades after the war. This man is behaving exactly cookie cutter like Hitler. They'll give him a tiny shiny object and he'll think, oh, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Now I need the whole, no. So let's give him no more.
Yes, he is.
He's also,
yes, he is.
Exactly.
Yes, he is.
And at the end of the day, the thing that I keep saying, I've been saying, his ultimate goal is to stay in office as president until he dies. Because the moment he is no longer the commander-in-chief, he will immediately be prosecuted, arrested, and placed in jail. Let's not forget, he was found guilty and convicted of the 31 or 32 charges that were placed against him.
34.
Oh, my bad. My number.
You're close.
The National Guard has been deployed, has no food or lodging, and has been kicked out of the hotels. Yes, because no bills have been paid. I mean, the man didn't pay when he was running for his campaign bills that he created. This is the same man who had rallies an hour and a half away from where buses were parked. And when he left, those people had no way to get back to their cars because he didn't pay the bill, nor did he pay for the gas to get buses to come and load those people up and take them back. And they had to walk back at 11 or 11:30 at night with temperatures above a 90-degree state. And most of the people who had to do that walking were over the age of 60. But
and they had called transportation for some of the elderly to get them back to the parking lots, but not everybody.
Exactly. Moreover, a number of those people ended up having to seek medical services because of the mess that they were placed in for supporting him.
And one of the things I heard yesterday is that ICE was in helicopters flying over an auditorium where kids were graduating. Mm-hmm. And the administration told the people that ICE was in the area. Parents jumped up and ran and left their children there at school.
Yeah.
Because the parents didn't want to be snatched up by ICE. Going into graduations and schools, that's inhumane. They had they threatened one lady who was trying to intervene because they were handcuffing a pregnant woman, and she kept saying, "Stop, that lady is pregnant." And they told her to get out of the way.
It's ridiculous.
Oh no, if you're an insurrectionist, you're a patriot and you get pardoned. They don't call out the National Guard, they don't call out the Marines, but if you're doing a peaceful protest, and they had some paid radicals in there. So when the National Guard showed up, then they started vandalizing things. But that was not the original protesters. The original protesters were standing in front of the buses trying to keep them from driving away with people. They were trying to stand in between ICE and the individuals that they were after. They were trying to slow down the madness. They were doing a peaceful protest. But then when he comes up with the National Guard and all that stuff, then the insiders start. The orange man takes his advice from the man child. What do you expect? You mean the muskrat? The muskrat is gone.
Oh, they're in breakup status. His X account has been suspended. Oh, the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. It is Pride Month and the girls are fighting.
See? And the ones that he let out of jail are ICE. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. And yes, Kristi Noem has been back to the Congress? Or she's been back because she wanted an increase in her budget. And they said, you have spent a year's budget in 3 months.
Make it make sense.
Granny's been praying and praying that the ugly bill will not pass. See, yeah. Hello, Roberta. How are you, sweetheart?
Good afternoon.
Roberta's my military guru because I can't tell one camouflage from another. And she's like, no, that's not who those are. If you are a white insurrectionist, you get pardoned. See? The police are also damaging their own cars and equipment for optics.
Yes. It's all about the optics.
Woo, child. Man, him.
Yeah, well, he's also buttering up the Asian one, I can't think of his name. Pretty in Pink.
Kim.
Not
Not
the other one. Pretty in Pink. Who's the other military micromagnet? Because I know you know. I cannot think of their name, but it's not
It's not
I would remember.
Well, that's the only one I know. Okay, this one I love. They always say this is Kurt Russell's son. Entertainment Tonight and Rolling Stones. Oh, don't take me through there. Have said that this is not Kurt Russell's son, but he gave such a powerful speech. He looks more like Kurt Russell than Wayne actually does. I had to refresh the page because it froze and now I can't get back to it. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
No pressing buttons.
I have to press. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I put it in the. Can I get to my description? It's in the description. Because he is not. This is not Wayne Russell. Oh, and Reese is coming on at 3. Yippee! We get all our stuff done today.
Productive. I love it.
Where is my dadgum channel? Okay, I'm pushing buttons. Forgive me, but I don't want to go through this whole thing again. Hey, shut girl. Okay, I got to get the link from the description. Let's see. Pause. Give me some. Now, if this boy does not look like Kurt Russell, I don't know who he looks like. Can I make this one bigger? Okay.
Oh,
We're gonna not this boy. I gotta start it.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
It's a no. I'm sorry, I forgot my mic was on. No.
Stop it.
Is watching.
Up with your assault rifles and your sticks. You should be standing here with us. You're on the wrong side of history. We know you got a job to do, but you took an oath to the Constitution, not to the fascists in the White House. Think about what you're doing now. Think about what this means. Coming into our community. Peaceful community. People working their jobs. They send in men in military fatigues, weapons of war, into our communities. And you stand here and you allow it. I am sick and tired of it. You should be sick and tired of it. You think any of these people in the White House sending you these commands give a f you? Not one of them do. They laugh at you. Our president laughs at you. He calls you fools. He said the people who died overseas in the military were chumps. That's who you're defending right now. Every last. Think about your place in history, ladies and gentlemen. Ask yourself when you wake up tomorrow. I don't know if you have kids. Ask yourself the future you want for your children. Is it this? You can answer me. Is it this? Do you feel good about this? You're tough behind your masks and your fatigues and with your weapons, but how do you feel on the inside? This is our community, and we will fight for it if we have to. Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets?
Our streets!
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 Boy, was that good. You know, I spent 30 years in the entertainment business in Los Angeles, so this might just be.
I told you. He looks like Kurt Russell.
Yes, yes, yes.
Everybody was saying he was Kurt Russell's son. Then Entertainment
You know what
Tonight
I'm
and the
saying?
Rolling Stones came on and said, no, that was not Wayne Russell.
It may not be Wayne Russell. That still doesn't erase the statement.
No, Roberta, I did not see Maxine. Yes, he did. He did that, Granny. He did. I wasn't panicking until Bell said, just be careful, y'all, and don't shoot back. Don't shoot back. If you're black or brown, keep your little happy tails at home. Nobody go out to the King's protest on Saturday. That's got nothing good written all over it. My worry is that these young ones aren't tested and will panic. That's a problem. That's a problem.
This is where
Berta says, Michelle, you are perfectly right. The statement is true.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't say it because I wanted to. I said it because it is what it is. If we don't pull in and pull together against this overthrow of the real government, then what will be left will be on us to clean up if we're still here. And I'm not leaving this earth in tatters. I'm not fighting because, no, I'm sorry, but I am far too pretty. I don't fight. Not with my hands. And I'm not sacrificing my son, my chromosomes, or my daughter to appease someone who's still trying to please his very dead daddy. That man has issues, and I have questions. One of which, and maybe some of you have asked this. Nope.
I'm going. I'm old and white. Let that be the optic on TV if they shoot me.
They had a TV show called Just Shoot Me. I'd rather watch that than this. But has anyone asked this question, and I'm going to pose this to our community because we have almost 10 minutes left. How many of us are wondering if this megalomaniac is the result of an STD that has gone on for a long time untreated? Does this
I
not
never thought
look,
about that. I thought it was plain old dementia.
No. Dementia looks different. This in connection with Epstein behavior.
I never thought about that.
Just think
that. That's the point.
Just run down the
North Korea guy and the president of Israel are buddies of the orange guy. Yep.
That was what I was saying. And it was the Israeli leader that I was talking about, and I couldn't think.
She says, no, it's dementia.
It could be both.
Because actually that's classic symptoms of dementia and Alzheimer's, because he was gone for 4 years. We don't really know what was going on for 4 years, and they've hidden a lot of things. He has bullied all of the broadcasting stations. He only goes on Fox, and Fox cleans up everything he says. Caroline Levitt lies for him. So everybody knows that he has diminished capacities. But we've really not seen the whole picture. We don't know how bad it is. We've seen the whitewashed version.
Yeah. Now, here's why I go back to, I think it's more than just dementia and Alzheimer's. The medical complications that we're not being told about, but we clearly see the inability to control his urinary and defecation ability. I mean, let's be realistic. We all saw the puppy pad when he was on Fox.
Right. But that also happens to the elderly.
We also see that his facial features are becoming more bloated. We saw those same things with not Capote, uh, criminal Chicago, got convicted for tax evasion when he was actually a mini mobster. What was his name? Started with a C.
Murdoch?
No, started with a C. Older, think roaring 20s. Capone.
Capone.
Yes. Neurosyphilis. Thank you. He shows many of the signs and symptoms that we saw in Capone with neurosyphilis.
Welcome in, Sam.
Hey,
No,
Sam,
can't be
darling.
Cupid's disease because he had unprotected relations with that porn star and she had to have monthly STD tests and nothing came up.
That we were told about.
Now, let me, because the Midas touch touched on his posture and they gave him a diagnosis. See if I can find that real quick. Because they said the way that he hunches over. Oh, you're not going to give me any. Keep talking.
I'm just saying, it's
Keep
more than the typical Alzheimer's dementia. Yes, I see signs of that, absolutely. But moreover, that man's physique says that it's more than just the atypical neurological decline of a person in an elderly state. That
Okay.
there are certain things you can look at a person who has the long-term effects of diabetes and notice that the upper barrel belly bloat is indicative of someone who has long-term effects from diabetes. This man not only has that, although he's only 200 how many pounds and 6'3".
I don't believe that either.
That poor. So if you
because he's not 6'3".
Well, if you know that we lie about the optics of it all, then be sure that they're lying about the things that they don't want you to know. At the end of the day, he's an actor who was placed in a position to forward the agenda of people who control him. He's a puppet.
Yes, he is.
And what needs to be done after we finally squash him, and we will, the fight is real, we will, then we need to find the people who held the purse strings and the device that controlled his movement and get rid of them too.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they'll find somebody else to put on a string and puppet around. And we'll be in the same situation with a different idiot.
And we have to get SCOTUS to repeal that
SCOTUS
immunity.
needs to find the right person on Grindr. VJ's going, I have to be careful. Michelle's gonna run me off of YouTube. I'm not. I'm just saying.
It's just
love month.
I don't think any of them really have the cojones to do it.
I know, and you know, everybody has faith in Hakeem. Hakeem had a good moment, but then so did you know who I'm talking about, New Jersey. What's his name?
Corey.
Corey had a good moment, but let's be realistic. Corey was the only Democrat to vote for this insanity that we're now trying to make sure doesn't go any further. Corey has always had problematic missteps I don't care if he can stand and hold his bladder for 25 hours or 25 days. At the end of the day, if you still hit me, then don't be surprised when I hit you back. I'm going to call a thing a thing.
And see, and that's why I said first we need to elect all the Democrats we can because we need the numbers. Then we need to weed out the bad Democrats because there are some.
We need to bring them in the kitchen and have a kitchen table conversation about what you won't do. And stop falling for the shiny objects on social media. All of a sudden now there is this big push, especially for women over a certain age, the what we won't do group. What we won't do is be confused and led by some stupid stuff. Remember the what was it, the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah.
Does anybody not remember while that was going on, something else very big was happening and everybody was ignoring it? That's shiny object syndrome. I don't even remember what it was because it's too far back in my lexicon. But we pretend things aren't happening by paying attention to the fun, easy, shiny object moments instead of being aware that this is happening and in my face and it seems distracting. Ignore the gnat. Pay attention to the target in front of you. Because if you don't, you are going to get hurt. And I won't use the other word, but you are going to get hurt and you are not going to inhale and exhale again from it. You are considered. We are considered.
And expendable.
Exactly.
Because we don't have $1 billion and we are of the wrong complexion. And those of you who are of the correct complexion, if you don't have $1 billion, they still don't care.
No. You're a social security number whose account they are intending to raid in the very near future. Be aware. They have considered your income as their asset. And saying, but they wouldn't do that to me, is you lying to yourself. And I'm not holding a pillow over anybody's head. I'm just telling you what we've learned. The failure to plan is not my emergency. I'm still holding my water.
See, yeah. No, I can't lay hands on it right now, but they had a good one on his posture, and they said he had frontal lobe something or other. But of course, I can't pull it up. So no, there was something else that went along with it.
Where did I set my phone? I have a very small space around me and I've managed to lose my phone. Oh, no, I didn't. It's on my keyboard. You said frontal lobe.
Because I was doing the I guess I should have been reading the captions instead of just looking at the pictures, because I thought it would have been on the pictures. But probably not. But I wasn't looking for the descriptions. In the meantime, let me make sure we've gone through all of our clips. Michelle, I really appreciate you coming up here and
fun.
giving us ideas of what we can be doing here with the peoples. I need to get the chat. Hold on. I'm missing the chat. Hold on, everybody. Don't stop talking. Oh, thank you.
Frontal temporal dementia. Okay. Let's look that up.
friend of yours has talked about it? Granny says, right, Michelle? I thought about it and even read an article about it. Of course, the STD could have triggered the dementia. That's true, too. Oh, yes, I believe he has neurosyphilis.
See,
It's probably why Melania's in New York. Sam says, nah, can't be. I went back too far. But his father and mother both had and suffered from dementia / Alzheimer's. And his older brother suffered from depression and unalived himself. Did you see him fall on the plane? Yeah, his toe got caught going up that step, and he stumbled, and everybody said, Capone, look at you. You all are so good. Incontinence is also a product of excess aldosterone drug use. There is that. Plus, remember, he never submitted his medical stuff. And I don't care that he said that he had a physical and he did the cognitive test and he aced everything. That's just, as Obama would call it, word salad. No, that's not Parkinson's.
Because neurologically, he would still mostly be intact.
And he's been looking like Donald Trump because he kicks his main supplier out of his circle. 263? What is that? Is that a code you two have?
Nah, I don't recognize that.
And a better eyeliner pen.
Now I understand what 263 is. You were wrong for that.
Is that my dear Shady?
That
Shady's the one using the pens. Granny says, yeah, when he stands, he leans forward like he's gonna fall over, or
his gait is off.
If he kept going. I know he has lifts in his shoes, so maybe that may be part of it. Have you noticed when he sits in the Oval Office and gives interviews, he sits leaning forward with his elbows on his knees. He does not sit upright.
He can't. He can't.
And I don't know how he can sit that far forward with all that belly he's got.
The belly is keeping him from pitching all the way over. And it's not like there's anything below it to stop it from happening. The drop is dropped.
I'm going to be a mean girl now. Did y'all see Caroline Levitt and her new Mar-a-Lago makeover? No, I saw that she had a meltdown when she got subpoenaed.
To address the symptoms of the frontotemporal dementia, the symptoms you will most likely see are personality changes, behavioral changes, and cognitive symptoms such as difficulty with planning, decision-making, problem-solving, but most often with rarely preserved memory of the disease. Progression. This typically progresses over several years, leading to increased disability and dependency. And primary progression would be aphasia. The symptoms would be language impairment. Does anybody remember Kofifi?
Who?
Kofifi. He wanted to say coffee. He couldn't say coffee. He said Kofifi. And then things are bigly. They are huge. But my point is, he used to be able to communicate. He is scrambling and creating new words because he can't say the words he's reaching for. I said what I said.
Now, mind you, I do that too, but I know that I'm doing it, and I ask people to fill in the words for me.
You pause and let us fill it in, as opposed to sticking in another word. And if we correct you, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I mean. Whereas he will fight you.
That's true. That's true.
Motor symptom issues, muscle weakness or atrophy, difficulty speaking and swallowing. Breathing sounds different and erratic because the motor neuron degeneration. Cognitive and behavioral symptom changes, symptoms similar to those seen in something called BVFTD. Don't ask me what that is. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV.
I play one on TV.
I won't think I'm paying enough. Executive dysfunction and apathy.
Yeah, he's got apathy, all right.
It's possible that he may also have CBS, corticobasal syndrome, where there is a decline of the motor symptoms, asymmetrical movement and difficulties in stiffness, rigidity, tremors, and dystonia only on one side of the body. And if you'll notice, many of the issues that we see with his physical form are most obvious on the right side. Aphasia. Some symptoms, some individuals may develop language difficulties similar to those previously discussed. I'm just wondering. I'm not pointing at, and I'm certainly not diagnosing, but isn't it interesting how the things I just described fit?
Yeah. He's not well.
He hasn't been well.
Mm-mm.
And call me crazy, and feel free to do so. I don't care. But it's concerning to me when someone is post a particular age and categorically changes their whole political position. Somebody should have been asking questions when he had been a lifelong Democrat, and now all of a sudden he was all about the Republican Party, with the statement that if I were going to go into politics, I would go in as a Republican because they believe anything.
And I would ruin the company from the inside out. Which he is doing.
I'm just saying.
He is ruining the country from the inside out. But for both times that he ran, they didn't want a woman in the White House. The only time he did not win was against Joe Biden, because he can't beat a man.
No. Because unfortunately, this country is okay with being attacked from the inside by an orange versus letting a woman lead them down the path for their own safety. How many people would be in a situation and a female came to rescue them and be like, no, I'll wait for a man? We've seen it in the medical experience in ERs where they'll tell you, no, you can't touch me, you can't treat me because you're a woman, even though you're the doctor that has the most knowledge for their particular situation.
Right.
I'll wait for a man. I'll wait. Go ahead. I got other patients.
Right.
Just sign this
paper. Yeah, it's horrible. No, I'm not here for it.
No. No,
I'm not here for it. So
it
no.
is after 3 o'clock. I am turning
Is
into
it? Did our dear darling Ola Joe go live?
I didn't see the notice, but I'm not looking at any of the devices that would show me. So
Let me check real quick because I didn't get a notification either. Let me see. Let me refresh. But the only thing we can do, we really can't do much about this. Bernie Sanders had a good one Sunday, but it was an hour long and he touched bases on everything. The bottom line is this is not what we pay taxes for. This is not what we're here for. And we just need to keep writing and keep writing and keep writing. Okay, she's going to be live in 8 minutes. Let me drop the link in here. If anybody has any, I have to go to X to find Ron Filipkowski, and I really don't want to go on X. So if I find it on the Midas Touch again, I will pin it in the chat. But they did the whole breakdown of his posture, his leaning forward, and what it means neurologically. But of course, when I search for it, I can't find it.
if I find it and I'll send it to you, just go ahead and create a post on your channel and we can go back and review it.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
She says that's what he claimed his weight was. And he claims he's 6'3" too. Also, yeah.
How?
Lucy, welcome in. Good to see you. Medical testing for our administration should be a no question if smaller job tests and deny jobs for a positive pop. Exactly. And he kept saying that he had it, but he wouldn't release it. And people just kept going on like, well, he'll release it sometime. They gave him too many shortcuts. And like Michelle Obama says, why are you making Kamala Harris jump through hoops and you're not holding him accountable for anything? They gave him too many chances, too much leeway, and they gave him enough rope for him to hang all of us. The sitting in the chair is too high.
You mean the presidential pooper?
Drugs was found in the White House and they put it all on Musk, but it's both of theirs. He knows Musk is his supplier. Oh, so is he going to go cold turkey? There are lots of those goofs like Orange for Origins. Oh, and Bobby Kennedy fired all of the directors of the vaccine research, and he's going to hire his own cronies. So if you have any questions about any vaccines, look them up now, screenshot them because they will probably take the sites down. And once he names his new board, don't pay any attention to anything that they say because it's all, I don't have a Bible in here, but I can just about guarantee you it will all be prefabricated or just totally incorrect. So do your research now. If your doctor's saying, later on down the line, you might need, we'll swap out this drug because you've been on it for X number of years, and we may try to get you on XYZ drug. Do your research on it now, because all of the people who know anything about it just lost their jobs. If you need anything from the CDC, screenshot it now before they take the site down, because mark my word, He's going to put people in those positions who know even less about vaccines than I do. And I went to nursing school. And I wouldn't begin to tell you about vaccines unless I, had my PDR and could read it to you. And they probably don't even know what a PDR is.
This is also the time. Hear me when I tell you this, to get copies of any book that lay explains how to deal with and treat complex medical situations at home. This is also the time to get the most current DSM-5, which is the mental health component. The reason you want to get these written resources, not on the internet, physical books, because they are going to start labeling people with pre-existing mental and medical conditions to kick them off insurance or force them into privatized programs that will not work and will not serve you. Then they will say you are no longer independently capable of functioning in order to put you in a situation where they control your money. If I sound like an alarmist, believe me, I'm not the only person saying this. They have technical.
Trump changed parties because he could manipulate.
Exactly, that part. That part. Thank you, Loopy. Thank you.
How ill does he have to be before he?
Baby, that ship is sailed. We are not concerned with how to get rid of him. We are hoping to out-survive him because they're happy with what's happening. It's called strategic measures. If two of us of opposing situations are facing the same thing, Dinky, there's always ways.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say you lost me on that one. There's always ways, but the wrong people are in. Exactly. If two of us,
some of Britain's best leaders were female. Let America shine with female president already.
Not gonna happen.
We had over 9 million people sit down, and the people who voted could not see them taking orders from a black woman. And here we are.
I'm sorry, if you have a problem taking orders from a black woman, don't ask this black woman to do anything. I'm on vacation.
Oh, he could look right as rain one day and face plant the next day. Because it comes a point in time where you just can't hide it anymore. It's like night and day.
DC just
no, Chris, I want him to live a long life knowing we are breathing at his own game. Yeah, I had never registered for X, have never been on X, and I just wanted that little clip because I knew Ron Filipkowski had done it, and I can't get it. Ooh, yeah, see, yeah, no, I agree. I'm thinking of starting a website to reprint all of the transcripts of his speeches. The Army Guide to Field Medicine.
Yes. Yes. There are other books. I will send a list to VJ. VJ knows I'm going to find a whole bunch of books. Hey, Coley. But
they have technical issues, PRDs with suspected diagnoses. Thank you, Loopy. We try. They can change the US websites, but the UK, Canadian, and Australian, etc., will have the right info. You have to send us links to those. Because their whole thing now is they are not going to provide the American people with links. And as we've said, they are trying for the survival of the fittest. So if you have any medical condition, if you're lower income, they really don't want you in this country. And since they can't ship you out of this country, they're going to take all the resources away from you. So you're gone. The only people they care about are the Caucasians and the wealthy. If you're not a wealthy Caucasian or a Black who has bent the knee, they have no interest in anything that you have to say. Crystal, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? Yeah, we will probably need those links. And they pulled us out of the World Health Organization, so they don't want us to know anything about anything. She won, but they tampered with the ballots. I believe they tampered with the ballots on Kamala, but Brian Tyler Cohen said he went through the ballots and counted them up, and even with the tampering, she didn't have enough. Hillary would have won, but he kept lying and saying that she was a criminal and that she was going to be arrested, and the early voters did not vote for her. And by the time everybody realized that he did not have enough evidence to prosecute her, it was too late. The voting was in. Coley, welcome in. Good to see you. Yep, PDR. What is wrong with you?
I'm old. That might not have been in me.
They've deleted all the transcripts because reading those just make him look. Oh yeah, they've deleted all. And one of the ABC journalists wrote an opinion about something he said, and JD Vance got on there talking about that the reporter had no right to say whatever it was he said. I can't even remember what it was now, and ABC suspended him.
Not surprisingly.
You're on meds currently. Yeah, girl, get as many as you can. And probably the thanks, Jen. Probably the ones that we need are the controlled ones that you can only get 30 days at a time. This is a war between the haves and the have not. Darcia, if you yes. They don't even care if you are the bent knee. No, because all those black MAGAs, they're going to get rid of them too. See? He called Miller vile and disgusting. That's it. That's and they said that he wasn't a Christian. He could look at him and tell that he had hatred in his heart and he wasn't a good person. I'm just getting here. Hi, Susan. Yeah, we're going to make a BJ. No, we're not. We're going to make a Baljean raid over to Ola Joe. I'll have to watch the replay and catch up and look for homework. So mad about our governor. It's not your governor, girl. Your governor is on his job. We play. Yeah, watch the replay because we had a clip about your governor, and he did an excellent interview with Brian Tyler Cohen. He's on point today, and he even says, Brian asked him, "Is there anything you have to say to the president?" He says, "Stop this madness. If you want to arrest me, come arrest me. I don't give a damn." So he's filed suit.
Loopy has a good
point. I need you to keep these things in your mind for me. You see what they have done to the Hispanic MAGA.
Fefo.
If I may suggest, getting a VPN might be a good idea too. I have to check. There was something about a VPN with my router. I didn't know that if it would do it. I have to go back and read what it said about him.
I have a VPN. I'll tell you about it after.
Okay, well, but there's something with my router. I have to go look.
Okay.
You're having issues. I'm glad you're not in LA. I'm really glad. I almost clapped when he said, "Leave little girls alone and come get me." Gavin is hot. He is hot.
He's about that life.
He was hot when he came in, overstepping during the fires. He is really hot now. And as he said, it didn't have to be this way. They made it this way. And this is a test case to see how it's going to run. And I hope they squash it like a pancake, because I'm in a blue city. I don't want to play these games. Well, you're naked because you're on the wrong channel. Didn't you have a dress before?
Not over here.
Well, probably because when I was giving out dresses, you weren't here. I am sorry. Let me see. Yeah, well, no, Sanita came in late to the game.
She did. She wasn't here
Because she didn't want to she didn't want to go through this madness with us, and she came in late to the game. And I had probably already given out my few little
dresses.
Right. My little blue dresses when she came aboard. But I can fix that now. And then Andrea has gone live. Hush, girl. Andrea has gone live on her channel. I have to get her to give me a
parking pass.
Yeah, parking pass, so we can go straight over to her house. And then Reese is also doing a premiere on his channel. If you've got two devices, there we go. Then you can see Reese. I've missed 27 minutes of Reese, so I'm just going to go ahead and catch him
on the replay,
on the flip flop. Shorty's probably already looking at it. She'll tell me what he said. Let me copy this again and put this back in the chat. Yep, there she is, because our dear sweet Andrea is there. And we're going to do a Val Jean raid over to Ola Joe the Crocheting Sailor. I thank you all for being here with me. This has been a great chat. I thank you, Michelle, for coming up and helping out. I appreciate it. Pretty in Pink, thank you for being here. And I'm not going to let your mother say anything else about it today. Everybody, see you over at Andrea's. I love you all. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.